We welcome you inside the house that George built. We are live from Yankee Stadium before Game 2 between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. There will be a lot of complaining, a lot of looking back, a lot of trying to explain what happened in Game 1, and we will absolutely get you ready for Game 2. Yankee season on the line, the pregame show coming up at 5:25, and we'll talk to you throughout the day. So we have a lot to cover. I even wrote down a list of things that led to the Yankee loss last night, but I think Tiki Barber has proved something over the last couple of years, and that is he's a baseball savant. And so, Tiki, I've got a million reasons,
yes,
but I am curious, as we begin this show live from Yankee Stadium, the number one thing on your mind after the Yankees lose to the Red Sox 3-1.
Let your dog eat. Just let him eat. Max Fried was cruising through sixth and a third innings. And in the seventh inning, he got the first batter out in 3 pitches. And then immediately you go to the bullpen. And I don't get it. I don't understand why in this moment you can't take being in the postseason for granted. It's not, okay, it's the wild card series and we got to save guys up and get to the divisional round and hopefully we get to the ALCS again and the World Series is right around the corner. Each game is your Super Bowl, so to speak. That's what we used to say in the playoffs. Each game has to, because if you lose, it's the last one, right? The worst thing that happens for you is losing a game and not being able to look back on it and fix it. Right? In the regular season, you can fix whatever mistake went wrong. You can fix or change whatever decision caused you to lose. By pulling Max Fried, Aaron Boone gave Luke Weaver the most critical pressure moment that he's had all season long, and predictably, he failed. To me, that was obviously the turning point. I don't even know what to say about it.
Yeah.
Because it was predictably bad.
Yeah. Luke Weaver failed.
100%. Immediately.
Can we just
walk the first batter?
But let's start there. Like, Luke Weaver failed, right? Luke Weaver needs to pitch well if the Yankees are going to go on a deep postseason run. Of course. He had a bad September. He finished rather strong. Obviously, we've all kind of been on the fence on what to expect from Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver came in to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. And let's go over who these people are. It's Ceddanne Rafaela, it's Nick Sogard, and it's a likely pinch hitter for Rob Refsnyder. He wasn't exactly given murderer's row to go through. Luke Weaver failed.
Of course he did.
Luke Weaver comes in, gets ahead of Rafaela, then is really, really careful with him, and walks him. Rafaela never walks. Luke Weaver failed. Repeat after me. Who failed?
Luke Weaver failed.
Okay.
But Aaron Boone put him in position to fail.
Well, all right. Let's address that.
Okay, because what are we talking about?
Well, that Luke Weaver cost him the game.
102 pitches?
That's not why. Okay.
Tell me the baseball reason
I'm going to tell you the
Aaron
baseball
Boone pulled Max Fried.
Because I think he was done. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Max Fried was in empty. And here's where I'll partially agree with you and most of the mob out there, Yankee fans. Would I have given him another batter?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
You want to go batter to batter at that point, I'm with you. But let's not forget that Max Fried put multiple guys on base basically since the 3rd and 4th inning.
Okay, but in the 7th inning he didn't.
Bro.
In the 7th inning he didn't.
And guess what he did? He got Jarren Duran out. He sprinted over to first base. I don't know how much he has left. I'm being honest with you. It has nothing to do, Tiki, with the next round or bringing him back on short rest. I promise you. It has everything to do with the game.
All right,
game.
There is a. Do you think that Max Fried is a coward athlete?
No.
You think he's shrinking from the moment?
No.
So there is a phrase that was always said in my football career, and it applies to all sports, especially the physical ones like basketball. Now you're talking about a pitcher who's thrown 102 pitches. He's just run over to first base. He's exhausted. Think about Jackson Dart going 70 yards all the way down to the 10-yard line this past weekend, and then having to go back to the huddle because John Michael Schmidt's hold. He's gassed. He is dog tired, right? Coward. Fatigue makes cowards out of everybody. Don't be a coward. I don't think Max Fried's a coward. He might have been gassed. Give him a shot. Let me see it. Let me blame Max Fried for not being dog enough to get through the fatigue. Let us as fans say, damn it, our best was not good enough. You can't let someone else's failures, in this case Luke Weaver's, replace the opportunity that Max Fried had to be a hero.
The problem,
that's what frustrates me.
I know,
because in these moments, in the playoffs, it's a playoffs, dude. This is a 3-game playoff. Now you got to win 2. You got to win the next 2.
Yeah.
Right. This is a 3-game player. You don't get these opportunities that often, and to not let us and not let him prove it. It frustrates me because I know that Max Fried's a dog. I know it. I can see it. You watch how he pitched all season long. From the beginning, he had that little stretch where he had the blister, and it sucked. But then he came back at the end of the season, and he was a dog. Let him prove to me that he can fight through fatigue, and he didn't.
Sometimes as manager, though, you have to not allow that because think about Pedro Martinez in 2003 or Matt Harvey in 2015. Those are examples of great pitchers, by the way, who wanted to not be cowardly and leave it all on the field.
Right.
And the managers in both cases screwed up because of everything you're saying. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah.
So sometimes the manager has to say, I think you're done. And the biggest mistake people are making, you are not making this yet, is blaming this on analytics. You got to stop.
No, it's not analytics.
It's not robots. It's just Aaron Boone looked at Max Fried, and he saw what he had to do in the 6th inning, the 9-pitch at-bat to Narvaez, the double-play battle with Nick Eaton, ground ball out. And he looked at him and said, I think he's done.
But he got out of it.
I understand.
He got out of it.
But he had a 1-0 lead.
He got out of it.
Would you have felt more comfortable going to Luke Weaver with a runner on second and 1 out, or with 1 out and nobody on?
It wouldn't have mattered.
Of course it matters, because if you leave Fried in batter to batter and he gives up a walk, what are you doing?
Here's the problem. Because the bullpen is not good enough. We know this.
Agreed.
Right? And
Agreed.
so whenever you had to go to Luke Weaver, that's when you got nervous. So as long as you stay with Max Fried, you feel like you still have a shot.
But when would you rather go to him? Like, seriously, with guys on base and with which part of the order? This is 8 and 9.
There was nobody on base.
That's my point. This was a better spot for him.
Okay, there's nobody on base. Let him start clean in the fresh inning and in the 8th inning. Or go to Bednar for 6 outs. I don't know. So to me, the biggest issue was that you said Max Fried is done.
I thought he was close to done, Tiki.
He's
swear.
done.
Yes.
I'm saying, show me you're a hero. Fight through your fatigue. What ultimately happens is these 8, 9, 1 hitter are coming, right?
Yeah. 1 out, nobody on, 8, 9, 1.
Yep. Why not let Max Fried try to get 8, 9?
Because, and listen, I'm being honest with you. I was batter to batter. So as I'm watching this game, giving Max Fried another hitter, okay. But I didn't think there was more than that. And I think we need to understand that even if you're going batter to batter, you're not getting 5 more outs out of him.
Here's the problem. Neither one of us can know that. We don't know. Well, we didn't see it.
I think Aaron Boone was doing the same thing I was doing.
He
was watching him and saying, I think he's close to done. He was not dominating like Garrett Crochet. People got to stop comparing this to Garrett Crochet.
Have I mentioned Garrett Crochet?
You haven't, but people are.
I am not
he threw 117.
Garrett Crochet is the best pitcher in the American League, period.
No,
he saw it and he proved it. Or whatever. He proved it last night that he's amazing. He made one mistake.
Yes.
One mistake.
Yes.
In the 1st inning. Thinking, Volpe sucks this year. I can throw him a pitch. And he smashed it. Good for Volpe. After that, nothing. Garrett Crochet is great. I'm not even talking about Garrett Crochet. I'm talking about Max Fried getting the chance to prove that he could be a hero.
I think too many times when we allow pitchers to be the hero and we leave them in too long, they turn themselves into the GOAT. And I think as manager, and this is where, again, not you, but a lot of the discourse over the last 12 hours has been dead wrong, is blaming this on, well, Aaron Boone's pre-programmed. Aaron Boone's all about analytics. I think Aaron Boone made a decision based on his eyes. And you don't have to agree with it, Teak. And a lot of people don't.
You know why?
That was an eyeball decision of he's thrown a lot of pitches, especially over the last 3 innings. Like that 9-pitch at-bat to Carlos Narvaez an inning earlier, let's not dismiss it. And then the next hitter went 3 and 2 before he got the big double play. He was not cruising. He was not pitching 1, 2, 3 innings. His command was not the same as it was in the first 3 innings. And so you're thinking to yourself, all right, I'm lucky to get another out of him. The odds are I'm going to push this. He's going to put a guy on base. And then I'm going to the relievers I don't trust with guys on base.
He got out.
How's that better? How's that better?
It's not.
So what do you do?
But I don't know that there's going to be people on base. He got out of the first bat with 3 pitches.
The last 4 innings, guys were on base.
It doesn't matter. In the 7th inning, he comes off the bench, comes out of the dugout. He steps up on the mound in the 7th inning. He throws 3 pitches and batters out.
Yeah.
And it immediately gets sat down. And then right after that, Luke Weaver, it doesn't even matter. We know what happened here. My point is, you don't know what he was going to do next. You don't know how he was going to battle through the 8-hitter. You don't know how he was potentially going to strike out or get a pop-up or a ground out and a 9-hitter. And then you can start over in the 8th inning. Go to Bednar, right? At that point.
The different argument, which is kind of different, is do we even go to Luke Weaver? Are we skipping him to go right to Devin Williams? I just looked at 1 out and nobody on against the bottom of the order as probably the ideal spot to steal a couple of outs.
And you know what?
What?
Isn't that what always happens? Oh, it's perfect. For Luke isn't good right now.
Well, then he stinks. Don't pitch him.
Luke isn't good right now. This is the perfect spot
then don't pitch
to
him.
play the guy that we don't trust.
Then don't pitch him.
And you know what happens when you do that? The opposite.
Then don't pitch him.
I agree.
Okay, then we can agree on that. Go right to Devin Williams. Luke Weaver stunk. Luke Weaver blew this game. Mm-hmm. That's what to me, that is the freaking headline.
Of course.
More than blaming Aaron Boone on things.
We don't have to worry about it. It says it right there. Loss, Weaver.
Yes. No, I agree.
We don't have to look any farther.
And look, we're going to be here for a while, and there are other things of last night. This may surprise you because right now, if you're just tuning in, it's like, oh, God, look at Evan defending Aaron Boone. I got major issues with Aaron Boone. Mm-hmm. I do. There are things from this game that do not make sense. This is not one of them, in my opinion. He looked at a pitcher who appeared, forget the pitch count. Pitch counts are so freaking overrated.
Right.
It wasn't the 102 guys. It was the fact that there were guys on base every inning and his command wasn't the same. And he has a bullpen he doesn't trust, and he didn't want to go to it with guys on base. Does that not make sense, what I just said?
But there was no guy on base.
There was no guy on base. Evan.
If you push Fried, another batter,
you don't know that.
Isn't 8-9-1 the perfect time to keep pushing Fried?
That's what I
For
think.
every example you gave.
Every inning, there's been guys on base.
Okay.
It's the 2nd inning, bro.
Okay,
the
and then
evidence tells you he's putting a guy on.
But the most recent evidence told you that he still could get guys
right,
out.
he was getting a second wind, in my opinion. And also, newsflash about Weaver coming in and blowing the game. This was another example of, you want to talk about eyeballs and Aaron Boone's eyeballs? Aaron Boone's eyeballs should have told him that this October, unlike the past Octobers, he's not going to be able to get as many outs from his bullpen. And he's going to have to ride the horses like Max Fried a little longer than he's comfortable with, even if they're out of gas. And I think that was the biggest indictment. Last night, Luke Weaver blowing that game was not a shock to anybody who's watched Yankee baseball all season long. And if that is the kind of leash he was going to have with Max Fried in the game 1 of a postseason series, how the hell did Aaron Boone think they were going to get through in October to begin with, to be determined with this bullpen if that's the kind of outs he's going to need? This has to be managed like a different October based on the assets you have in the bullpen, and he's already 0 for 1. Push your horse.
How much more do you think Fried could have gone?
I think he could have finished that inning. I really do.
I'm skeptical of it.
And I would have gone Devin Williams, Bednar.
By the way,
whole
Evan,
night.
I'm not disagreeing with you. The 6th inning was a struggle for him, but he goes and sits in the dugout. Whew. I mean, man, that was rough. Hey, I forgot who the pitching coach is for the Yankees, but whatever it is. I mean, we do this, blah, blah, blah. All right, it's time to go. Let's go. Goes up there, 3 pitches, out. Like, I thought he was struggling too.
Yeah.
But as Sean Lutz just said, it felt like he had a second wind. And ride it for as long as you can. Go batter to batter.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, don't do what you just did. And there's so much other that I want to get into because when I think about coming into a postseason game and you don't put your best lineup, regardless of the matchup. Forget the matchup. It is what it is. I know you want to go righty heavy. I know you think Jazz is banged up, and I only formulated this opinion when I saw Jazz's reaction after the game. He did not put his dogs out there. He didn't, and he pulled one off the mound in the 7th inning too. That bothers me.